And welcome everybody to the China Show, the real China Show, episode 319. And what is that?
That's Iowa. Well, parts of Iowa.
Interesting.
Lots of corn, lots of great people. Home of Slipknot, the band. Good. Home of the biggest rest stop in America, which you've been to recently.
Oh yeah, the biggest truck stop.
Truck stop,
yeah,
sorry.
That was pretty awesome.
Yeah. So shout out to you. Drop it in the comments if you're from Iowa.
Mm-hmm. By the way, while I pull up the media pack over here, I wanted to remind everybody that this episode is going to be about this ridiculous situation in China where they're trying their best to get people to procreate.
Yes.
To say it nicely.
It's very, very interesting because it's one of those a toe-to-so moments. We told you so. We told you they're going to do this.
You know, like at the zoo when you've got like some rare breed of like some almost extinct animal and they put them together and they're like, come on, just mate. You know what I mean? And they try everything. They'll play music. They'll like throw in like special food, try to get them in the mood.
Oysters.
And they're just like, yeah, exactly.
Why are oysters an aphrodisiac?
Dude,
I like oysters, but it doesn't turn me on.
It looks like snot to me.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, I mean, the whole point is like, you know, you could try everything you want, but then they're just like, nah. You know, and all the scientists are getting really mad. That's the Chinese. Yeah, that's the Chinese government right now. They're the scientists trying to breed these, you know, they're the David Attenboroughs sitting in the corner saying, and then the male.
No, you're making it way too humane. You're making it too humane. Yeah. This is actually wicked grim.
It's terrible, yeah.
We're going to give you a blow-by-blow of how China's tried to completely control the entire population up until now.
Yeah.
It's good. It's good stuff.
Indeed. Anyway, let's saunter right into it with what's new, because, of course, we have a lot of other things to cover. This is where we talk about what's new specifically with regards to China. Okay, we're going to start out with IE Adventures.
Okay.
What you see behind us here are IEs, or aunties. I like to call them evil aunties sometimes, you know. They're usually that lost generation, the Mao Zedong Red Guard that have grown up. And they're responsible for all kinds of horrendous things in China. One of them is the noises that they make. They have these little gangs that go out there. These huge gangs.
There's hundreds of them.
And they go, and they do what's called square dancing or guangchang wu, where they all gather together and they
It's not like cowboy square dancing.
No. Yeah. It's just in a square. Usually horrible techno music.
It's horrible lady techno music. This sounds vaguely Russian.
It's very, very, very weird. And they annoy everybody because they do it late at night. Yeah. Anyway, this is another thing they're doing here. They've got this lovely exercise. Let's take a look.
Dude, I'm sorry, but this is scary.
Yeah.
The fake laughter at the sky and Ai's doing it like an evil villain.
I know, because I don't think I've seen eyes genuinely laugh much, unless they're like boiling a puppy to death or something. I'm just kidding here.
Dude. Bro.
Yeah, I know, just kidding. Yeah. No, but quite seriously, it must be very unsettling if you live in those houses. You see those houses just across the way, behind the burglar bars?
I do.
Can you imagine every night you hear this like maniacal laughter of old ladies?
Well, I can imagine that. Although they weren't laughing, they were very close to where I lived, and there were very enterprising young people that were very mad at this because they actually had jobs and had to wake up in the morning. And I believe it was in Shenzhen. This guy invested in this massive industrial like
a
horn.
crowd control speakers.
Like,
and he like blasts
down.
And it didn't stop them.
No, they love it. They you know how people say that you have vibrations or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's like how we have vibes. The eyes just vibe with that stuff. The louder the air horn, there's like, yeah, you've unleashed my power.
Yeah, exactly.
They love noise.
Yep.
That's scary, dude.
This is I on a fishing trip. Oh. More trip than fishing.
There's not a whole lot of fishing going on. Just a lot of trip.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's a little unfortunate. Yep. What do you think you're going to catch in those waters? Other than like a disease.
Maybe some minnows. Like there's not a whole lot growing in there, bro.
Exactly. There's a phenomenon, and I'm going to show you guys this, and we've shown it once before, but when the aunties go shopping, they want to save every possible cent.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you say cents.
Like fractions of
cents.
So when you buy fruit and vegetables in China, it's just like in the West, you weigh it usually. Okay,
That's
so
right.
it's by weight. You pay by weight. So if you can reduce that weight slightly, you get a better deal. So what do you do? You like literally chew off the little stalks.
Why you gotta chew?
Yeah, I don't
Why
know.
chew?
Yeah, that's what they do. Well, this woman is kind of going through them to find the best, thinnest stalks. You cut off. You want to get like your tomato. What even is that in
An orange.
An orange.
Yeah.
Looks like a
You're
tomato
pretty
orange.
good. You're pretty
I'm really good at that.
fruit.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, tomatoes are fruit, right?
Bodies of water, fruits and vegetables. I
Hey,
just
look,
don't think you know.
That's the
things.
reddest orange I've ever seen.
Get good.
Okay, fine.
It's got
But yeah,
leaves on
she's
it.
taking every last piece of leaf off
She
of
is,
that.
and that's
Yeah.
crazy to me. I mean, you're
not-
saving maybe. Actually, that's not even going to register on the scale.
No, it won't.
You know,
Yeah.
you're saving maybe 0.1 cent.
Yes, exactly. But she's going to get all of the ones that she's picked out. She's going to make sure that
It's not
every
worth
last
anyone's
leaf.
time.
No. But anyway, look, it's not all peaches for these eyes. Because look, they go around, they cause a ruckus. But you know what? They do have a bit of a hard life, a lot of them.
Oh
So-
yeah, yeah.
Many of them, and
Yeah.
they've lived hard lives. Yes, lives steeped in treachery and like ratting out your parents to the
Some of these rural folk didn't participate in
Yes.
that. It wasn't. That was more of like, let's take down the city's intellectuals thing.
Yeah.
These people out here are good. There's some good folk.
Oh, I'm not saying they're all bad.
Yeah.
It's just like a lot of them are.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay.
You're right.
So what's happening here is these ladies are basically picking and peeling garlic over here out in the field. You can see she's cutting the garlic.
Executing the garlic.
Yeah, but one of these ladies filmed their living conditions because when you go out to do these jobs, you get to stay in the company dormitory.
Get to.
Yeah,
You have to.
yeah, you have to.
Yeah.
Okay, so what? Just wanted to show
看
you
看
what
哦，
it's
就
like.
是大棚的人，看看活不多了，都返回大棚了哈。你
You know, it must be nice to be honest.
You're
Must
absolutely
be nice
right.
to live in a real country.
Because this is where you get. I mean, they can't be paid anything for this. Like, it's going to be the most minimum amount.
You know, these isolationist people that are constantly glazing China and Russia and stuff.
Mm.
You know, I really agree with them because I wish America had these kind of working standards.
I know. Think about it. You get a dirt floor.
We do.
You get shoved in what looks like a converted greenhouse.
Looks like
with-
one of those silos.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. With potentially, I don't know, 100 old women snoring and rolling
Yeah.
around in bad breath. And think about it, they chew garlic all day because
They
they
do.
peel the garlic. So you
With their
gotta.
mouth.
It's just the garlic smell with the dirt floor and.
看见这女工多得很哈。你看，这是俺崔妹
See the
妹，
face filter.
They're all built.
这个是王庄的。
But of course,
Oh my goodness.
the aunties don't only pick garlic and live in fantastic working conditions; they do entertainment too. So this is at someone's wedding. And
You're
so,
a real expert on ice.
yeah, dude. I
Yeah.
lived there a long time. You
Yeah,
know,
true.
you know when like there's a particular type of person that really comes and annoys you, you tend to learn a lot
Oh,
about
for
them,
sure.
right?
Everyone
Okay.
does in China.
Yeah, exactly. This is the thing. So here's an IE doing some entertainment. Let's see what happens.
Hey! Whoa! Whoa!
Yeah, I don't think anyone wanted to see that.
To be fair, it can't be fully like layered up.
Yeah, one can hope.
You know, they wear all those long clothes and stuff. They're so worried about
Why?
this cold.
Why still continue with this performance? I don't quite understand.
Maybe you just get. What do you even do with it? What is this performance? You know, but that's actually what I really want to ask. What is this? What is this spectacle?
I know what you have another IE holding your dress together for you.
That's not a talent.
No.
I can hold you up.
Yeah, well, I mean,
You know?
she's standing on her head. To be fair,
She's being held up in a way.
well, I suppose her dress anyway is being held closed. You know.
What a. Is this your idea of like? Doesn't this look like a 1950s variety show? With like garish. Like, what did she think she was showing off?
Yeah, it's funny.
People on their phones. I mean, no one's watching anyway. Thank goodness.
Yes.
No one caught that.
Yeah, exactly, because they're all on their phones.
Shoji
Yeah.
Kongs, you know,
Yep.
hand machine goes.
That's right. Great dance.
I'm sorry.
She's
What
like-
even was that?
I don't know. It looked like a leprechaun that had defected from Ireland and changed its
Yes.
colors.
It became commies.
Yes, exactly. So, because eyes are tied very succinctly with the audio landscape of China, we saw them laughing.
Yes.
Okay. we saw that, whatever that noise was when she was dancing around.
We heard the techno, yeah.
Yes. Now, we want to show you, this is our brand of an authentic China audio landscape, okay? Let's take a look.
So this is like we're going to be listening.
Yeah, now this is honestly, when I saw this clip, I was like, this is the most authentic Chinese audio landscape.
Is this like when you see a clip and it says like HD or like Dolby 5.1? That's like that version.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. If you see like the rainforest, you'll hear like the birds chirping, and there's a specific you'll hear that. There's some noise.
Like only seeing something is like just one part of it.
Yeah, and it's authentic, right? That's how you know it. So you go to certain places in the world and it has a certain sound. Okay. This is a China's authentic landscape, audio landscape. Okay, let's
see if it takes me back.
Yeah. He did.
Such an authentic audio landscape.
Yeah. So
dude, that's took me right back.
Isn't it just?
Wow.
Anyone who's walked around the cities in China,
you hear that grinder.
You hear the grinder. They're cutting those like metal bars that they're making all the burglar bars out of and stuff. So what happened here is this IE just got involved. I'll rewind it so you can see. Randomly got involved. Sorry. Yeah, got involved randomly in this argument that was going on. See, she's not supposed to be part of the argument, so I presume it's her husband. Comes and kicks her in the ass. He's like, stop. Stop.
I love that he kept the Laoban posture with his hands behind his...
Yeah, he just kept his hands behind his back. And then she's like, okay, fine. And then just walks away from the argument. She's just getting involved.
Look at this like spectacle right here. It's like a spectrum of outfits. You have the guy that bought the 10 RMB military fatigues that don't fit him properly.
Yep.
He's probably working on those bars.
Yeah, he's one of them, yeah.
And then the husband is like the cigarette smoking boss, the Laoban. He's wearing the proper outfit.
He really is.
Dirty, soiled polo shirt,
yes,
unbuttoned, and standing properly too.
Yes. It's crazy. And they're just standing and watching this spectacle of this argument while this cacophony of grinding noises happens in the background.
It's very accurate, dude.
It is 100%. Like, if I was sitting somewhere and someone played that for me, I'd say China.
Yeah, I would start going like this. It's so insignificant, but so accurate.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we have a trust report, guys. I know we throw these little segments in now and again, but we've seen a huge uptick in Chinese propaganda trying to, they just lie.
Yes.
They lie, and they say that China is a high-trust society. You can leave your wallet on the side of the road, and nobody will steal it.
It's 2026 winner for most infuriating propaganda we've seen that's completely false.
It's rubbish.
It's so bad.
It's like if someone that you know can't read says, I am the #1 dictionary reader in the world, and I've got a Guinness Book World Record.
Yeah.
But then if you try to look it up, there's no evidence.
You're like, Nathan, I know you don't know how to read. You're blind.
Yeah, exactly. That's why you're not rich. Anyway, let's keep going. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
So let's take a look at the trust report. Now I have to really set this up because you would have no idea what's going on here. So this is in Chengdu. Tell everybody about Chengdu.
It's like the most futuristic city in China.
Yeah.
It gets lavished with central support. So it gets billions of dollars thrown at it every year.
Yeah.
So this is not like some backwater place.
No, this is like top tier.
It is a top tier 1 city now.
It's a really rich city. So this girl was moving house, okay, but she had too many things. She took her bag, you can see the wheelie bag, down to the front of her apartment building. You know, there's a little security place there. There's usually a security guard sits in it.
To keep the thieves and burglars away.
Think about it like a doorman or something. Just so that, inside the apartment complex, you got different buildings. So it's at the bottom of her building in the apartment complex.
Right.
So she leaves her bag there while she goes upstairs to grab her other bag because she had too much to carry.
Yes.
She grabs it, comes down, and her bag's just gone, like within a few minutes. And it was next to the security guard.
Yeah, we are utterly not shocked.
It's very common.
That's China.
And what happened was this auntie, another IE over here, had grabbed it and dragged it around the corner to rifle through it. And in order to look for valuables.
Yeah,
and
she's a
during
thief.
yeah, of course, during the process, she's chucked all of this. You can see there are all of her clothes,
It's a yard sale
her
now.
curling iron, all of her stuff. Just ripped it out. As you can see, as she walked around, she had her hand in the bag, just pulling this stuff out.
The IU was like, I want to know where the gold at.
Yeah, she's looking for like
Money.
empty cans or something. You know what I mean? But yeah, obviously she's looking for valuables.
Earrings,
Yeah.
necklaces,
So
Because China is a very high trust society.
那你给我全部打开那个笼藏哦！
没有弄，没弄。
地上，我的衣服全在地上。
我跟你说，慢点弄啊！
你把我衣服全部搬地上来了。
可点的，可点的，拿去，拿去，拿去！我
啥子拿去？
傻不
报警
拉几。
报警！
Because China is a very high trust society.
我信我有信改跑信箱了吗？
装到，装到。
装到时候我既然你分得上了，你要给我出加息费。你要给我出所谓费用，你不要走！我告诉你，走你解决不了问题，都是监控，这到处都是监控。你不要以为你走了，你就可以逃脱责任。
别拿你的！
我告诉你，你今天回去了，警察也会找上来的，这些事情是肯定会处理的。你走了，警察还会找到你的。我告诉你，不可能不处理。你不要以为你是老年人，你就了不起。你以为你年龄大，你会为所欲为，是不是？
别拿你的！
你要回去我打我信箱，我的信找开没有？啊！下了之后，我的东西全部掉在里头。
Because China is a very high trust society.
Well, I mean, here's the deal. You can see that even though she's making a big scene, this auntie stole my bag, took all my stuff, and threw it on the ground like trash
moving, right?
in the
Yeah.
trash, trying to steal stuff from me.
Yeah.
The eye is just like, it doesn't matter. You left it there. It's mine, basically. No one is arresting the eye. The cops aren't being called. The security guards standing around there. They're not going to do anything.
In the entire world, China is the lowest trust society in the whole world.
Yes.
I'll die by those words.
100%. And there's a reason for this, is that nobody will intervene to help. So if you steal something, very, very slim chance that anything's going to happen to you.
We're seeing a lot of it's almost just desserts, but I'm not cheering this on because we're seeing a lot of tourists. There's little bit of a tourist boom right now because the visa
free
restrictions
thing,
have been removed in China, and there's so many people online that are like watching these videos from this dude.
Yeah, and others.
They're like, oh, China's like Japan. It's like Korea. So I'm going to go and travel to China like I would those countries.
Yes.
And then they keep getting their stuff stolen, and like a lot of stuff, like valuable stuff. And they're so shocked, and they go on Reddit or they go on the internet and forums or whatever, and they say, I thought it wasn't supposed to be like this. I don't even know what to do. I can't get my stuff back.
Exactly.
And they're shocked.
Yeah, of course, because they've been lied to.
It's kind of hilarious, though, because like if you're watching propaganda, you kind of deserve it.
Yeah, it's true.
But our job is to stop the propaganda.
Yeah, and just
so
show you
don't
the
fall
truth.
victim to this.
So even if you're living in a very rich city, you're in a posh apartment complex, and you leave your bag unattended at the security guard for like 5 minutes, it will be stolen by an auntie scavenger.
And we know this, though.
Yeah, 100%.
Like this is just accurate.
Yep. So I wanted to show another example. Now, this is a very good example. We saw a huge campaign of people walking around and filming specifically e-bikes.
With people's helmets on.
And they like, look, they leave their helmets on here because China's a high trust society. Nobody's going to steal them.
Very clearly, the CCP mandate for the propaganda was go find, and we know how this works. We know how these networks work. They hire contractors to go find foreigners to make vlogs about blah, blah, blah. Clearly, that week was go find foreigners to film e-bikes because there's helmets on them.
Yes.
And say, oh, this would never happen in my country. I can't believe these helmets aren't stolen. I saw that and I said, there's just twofold here. Number one, these helmets are worth nothing.
No, you buy them for 10 RMB.
They're like $1.
Yeah, like literally a dollar.
Right?
Yeah.
Number two, they are stolen all the time.
Yes.
So it's both false.
And number three, I have an expensive helmet and I leave it on my bike whenever I go somewhere here in
too.
America.
I've never I have an intercom on it.
Yep.
I have GoPro mounts. My helmet's probably $300 or $400.
Yep.
Never been stolen.
Never.
Nope.
So, I mean,
I've driven thousands of miles.
America's a place where you can leave your helmet on your bike and it won't get stolen. You know what I mean?
I mean,
anyway,
it could.
of course it
but
could.
it hasn't.
If you park it in downtown Detroit and say, like, take me, there's
Do you know where I
drugs in
have
this.
had my helmet stolen?
Where?
In China,
Me too,
multiple times.
yes. Yeah, this is true. So anyway, let's take a look. So this is actually more insidious than it looks because this woman comes. We'll just play it first and then I'll show you. I'll break it down for you. Like it's interesting. There's a law in China where you have to steal not steal. What am I saying? You have to wear.
Just
No, it's okay. It's coming back. You have to wear a helmet if you're riding the bike, but your passenger doesn't, which is dumb.
yeah.
So here's how it works. Number one, steal someone's helmet. Okay, that's the first part because they left it on their e-bike foolishly. Okay. Number two, teach your child to be a dirty thief because what do you think she's gonna think? You
You
grow
can
up,
take whatever you want.
see your mom just stealing people's helmets.
Mama,
and you're like,
这个不是你的.
Yeah.
不关我事.
yeah, exactly. And what about like what else does she steal? Does she go around just grabbing people's vegetables or random things? You never know. But anyway, it's just a very bad example.
This girl's gonna grow up to be the biggest Tokay thief in the
Exactly.
world. Tokay's helmet.
Yeah. And what's the next step?
Because China is a very high trust society.
You get some slovenly git foreign McDonald's gobbler to defend your thieving actions on X. That's what you
Very
do.
Shakespearean. Already.
Because China is a very high trust society.
So, furthering on with this whole China being a very high trust society, maybe you can set this up.
Can I just say something real quick?
Sure.
We are showing you these examples because I've never seen such a bald-faced, ridiculous bullshit campaign
Yeah.
of my life.
Me too.
Just want to reiterate that. We're not just cherry-picking stuff.
No.
You have to see little slices of reality
Yeah.
to ground you back down and realize that China hasn't earned the respect or the high trust that Japan or Korea has. It doesn't deserve to be conflated with
No,
it.
you cannot say it is because it's not.
It's not.
Having lived there for 14 years, you over 10 years, we had so many things stolen. So many things
It's something
stolen.
you get used to. It's
Yes.
not even something I care about that much, but I care that they're trying to say it's not true.
And here's the thing that really gets me is that Chinese people themselves
Yes,
know.
yes.
Chinese people themselves are like, no, don't leave your stuff there. It'll get
Yes.
stolen. I mean,
And
come
don't
on.
trust strangers. Don't talk to
Yeah.
strangers. you
But
know?
they get these foreigners
Yeah.
to go and be like, oh my goodness, look, somebody left a bag on an e-bike. This is the highest trust society in the world.
You would never be able to do that where I'm from.
Yeah.
You know that shit.
It's dumb.
So to get to
let
go
me
here-
give before you
Okay,
continue.
yeah,
Let
Sorry,
me give you
just
this.
pisses
Let me
me
give you
off,
this. Like, it's like if a Chinese person went to that Philadelphia Avenue or whatever it is. You know
Kensington,
Kensington Avenue. Sorry, that where they're like shooting up with drugs. But in Chinese, said, look, Americans. They don't need to eat food. They can just inject IV into their arm,
Medicine.
and it's good for them.
Yeah.
And it saves money. And
Yeah.
so America's really high tech because they don't
Yes.
have to eat anymore.
It's the same
It's
logic.
just making up shit because you
Yes.
don't know what's going on around you.
Yes.
Because you can't speak the language and you cannot understand what's happening.
Yeah.
That's why they get those fresh off the boat guys to do that.
Yeah, and they also tell them what to do.
Yeah, obviously.
But it's they're incentivized. But so here, this is a beggar. China doesn't want you to know that it has beggars and homeless people literally everywhere. By the way,
Yeah.
this is a blind beggar. He's playing an erhu, which is a traditional Chinese instrument. He's playing it for donations with his dog. Right.
Yeah.
Let's see what this local Chinese passerby does.
Okay.
Enjoying the music, getting a free show. Also, maybe he'll donate.
Yeah.
Right.
So what's he doing?
He looked into his donation bag. Now he's looking. He says, "This guy really blind.
Trying to make sure he's actually blind.
This guy really blind. Oh, it's a milk dog, dude.
Oh, it is a milk dog.
Wild milk dog.
Yeah.
Good thing it's sleeping.
Yeah.
Vicious things.
Yeah.
Looks in his eyes and goes, I guess he really is blind.
Yeah, I think he's probably like sussing up. Is the guy actually blind?
Yeah,
you know?
like,
is he
can
going to
we
do a
trust him?
prank on him or something? He's going to like flash something in front of his face or something?
Maybe he's just seeing, is he really blind so I can give him some donations? Oh no, he's doing it so he can see if he could steal from him.
And he
then
did.
runs away.
Dude. Don't forget, because China is a high trust
It is.
society.
You know, it must be nice.
Must be nice to live in a real country.
Yes, agreed.
I'm sorry. I know there are a lot of bad people in every country in the world. I have never seen a homeless beggar. I've never seen them begging on the streets of Manhattan and then somebody walks up and takes the money out of their bowl after they realize they're blind. I've just never seen that.
That's possible.
That's like
it happened, but who
true.
knows?
Yeah, I'm just
Yeah.
saying, like, I've never seen
Yeah.
that. But I have seen this behavior in China.
Yeah.
Therefore,
Here's my big issue with all of this is that there's no doubt that you get bad people in
Yeah.
every country. There's no doubt that there are thieves and liars and cheats in every country. But you don't get to pretend that China doesn't have that.
correct. That's why I wanted to do this.
Because first of all, it's not true.
Yeah.
Second of all, you're doing a massive disservice to people because you're not warning them. It's like saying, go swim in that lake, but you know that there are alligators in the lake and piranhas.
Yeah.
And like, there's a good chance they won't get eaten, you know, but they can.
Yeah.
But now they're not forewarned. If you knew there was an alligator in the lake, you would make sure to look for one before you went in.
Yeah.
You
Maybe go in a different part of the lake.
Or maybe just don't go in
Or
the
don't
lake.
go in the lake.
Yeah, which is what we suggest.
Yeah, don't
anyway.
go in the lake. There's an analogy
exactly.
right there, guys. Don't go in the
Don't
lake.
go in the lake. So anyway, it's time for Beyond the Great Firewall.
That's
This
right.
is when we tell you what's going on inside of China, in the internet.
In the internet, yeah.
Yeah. So what's happening this time?
So right now there is an ecosystem, an economy, an industry of something that I promise you don't know about.
Yes.
And I promise will shock you to death because I don't think this industry could exist anywhere other than China.
I know, other than China. Oh, get us out so we can see this intro. Let's take a look. That's loud. Okay, that's loud. That's loud. Okay, I'm going to take it down. All right. So, first of all, something you have to get used to when you live in China is that everybody lives in apartments. Okay, when you're in the cities, you don't live in a house. And you have people above you, you have people below you. That's just the way it is. And you're often living in these massive buildings with 36 stories up. I used to live on the 32nd floor in Shenzhen for most of my time there. Every time I lived in China, there was always someone above me and someone below me. And that's just how it works, you know. So the concrete buildings are incredibly poorly insulated for sound. Because they're made out of concrete, it doesn't absorb any of the sound. So basically, if you stomp on the floor, it reverberates downstairs. If you drop a plate or something, your neighbors will hear it. You can't not hear it. It's very unfortunate.
If you drill into it,
then everyone in the whole building, because the whole building vibrates. It's infuriating. And if you've lived in China for any length of time, you will have come across the deadly zhuangshou, where one of your neighbors has just bought the apartment, and because of Chinese traditional way they do things, they don't want any of the old person stuff there anymore. So if someone had put tiles in and put floor walls and ceilings and stuff, they rip it all out.
Yeah.
And they have to jackhammer all the tiles out. Yeah. And it's so loud. And it goes on for like weeks of just from like 6 a.m. till like 8 p.m. And it's like...
Otherwise, the ghost will show up and say, this is mine tile.
For sure. It's exactly what it's going to do. Yeah. Anyway.
That's horrible.
Yeah, I know. It'll be chewy. And then what happens is, they hit these tiles with these jackhammers, and it drives you insane. You actually have to get out of the house. You cannot be in the house.
No, you will go crazy.
Yeah, you will. You have to go sit out in the park.
It will cause you mental distress.
Yeah, you have to go live in a hotel.
Yeah.
There's all sorts of things because you just cannot put up with it. Anyway, so here's an example of someone going upstairs.
This is crazy.
Okay.
This is insane.
Yeah, and speaking to the upstairs neighbor, because the child upstairs apparently is running around and jumping and stuff a lot. So they're like, can you please keep it down a little bit?
不讲理的，那咱能说能不能小点声？小点声行吗？小点声行吗？小点声行不行？小点声行不行？
上体育课前就得不。
那咱说小点声行不行？
And so,
like, I'm just asking you, can you be a little quieter?
Yeah, so
she's being polite.
Yeah, so she slams the door. And unfortunately, one thing you will learn in China is that there's a massive lack of consideration for other people. It's just the way it is. It's a very selfish society because, well, unfortunately, because of the Communist Party has basically drilled it into everybody's head that, like, you shouldn't care about other people. And if you do, it's bad.
You see it a lot in ex-Soviet or kind of ex-communist or current communist countries as well.
Yeah, so they don't actually care if you can't sleep.
No.
Like, I had so many arguments with neighbors because, dude, I used to have these revenge plots and, like, you have no idea because I got so mad at them because it's inconsiderate to, like, at Sunday morning at 7 a.m. start drilling into the walls, and then not just for a little bit, I want to hang a picture, be like non-stop for the whole Sunday. So, you get mad.
I am a very, very level-headed, calm person.
Yeah.
And I had warned these people, you got to, I have a newborn child.
Yeah.
You have to stop doing this at midnight.
Yeah.
So they started doing it at 3 a.m. the renovations in.
Yeah.
And I went outside and I remember picking up one of the construction workers by his shirt, like a cartoon. And I felt bad because it's not his fault. Like he's not deciding to do it this time. But I said, "You gotta stop!" I lost my mind. You know?
For sure. So now people have found ways to get revenge on upstairs neighbors. Specifically upstairs, because, when someone's below you, it's not as loud because, they're not stomping on your ceiling. There's an air gap.
Yes.
So here are a couple of the innovative ideas that they came up with. Here, you take a massager, the shoulder massages?
Yeah.
You take
like
a bowl.
Theragun.
Yeah, you put it on the roof. This has got to be my favorite, okay? Okay, especially when you see the person doing this. Okay, let's take a look. You attach 2 bowls and you on your curtain rail or whatever, you put some plastic bottles.
This is automated.
Now watch. She's just so lifeless.
It's funny because certainly that's torturing yourself.
Yeah, but you know what? It's worth it.
The revenge.
It's kind of like, if they're not going to stop, you got to pay them back.
Sure.
Because you can't sleep anyway, or you can't rest
true,
or whatever, so you may as well just go for it. This guy took whatever that thing's out of who knows what, like it's probably, he tied a string to this device, okay, and then he has a ping pong ball on the roof. Take a look. So the ping pong ball's attached to a wire.
Yeah.
Okay, so the springy wire, and it bounces back up, and it just keeps going like that. And he could control the speed as well. He's got a little controller. Okay, another massager.
I love that the people are filming themselves doing this, and then uploading it.
Yes. But okay, it has now reached a point where there's a whole industry around these revenge devices. They're called like building shakers. That's kind of the loose translation. And you can go online now and buy them. Okay? You can buy devices to get revenge on your neighbors. Now, this became very popular because there was a specific old man, and of course he's old, and he wants to sleep, and he wants to rest.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a kid upstairs who was like throwing stuff and jumping, but all the time. And he asked the neighbors nicely over and over, please, I don't mind that they're, energetic and want to run around, but can you please stop him from like slamming things on the ground, and maybe not like on Sundays when I'm trying, that kind of thing. So he was reasonable for a long time. And then they just ignored him. Like they just, as you saw that woman slamming the door or something like that, just completely ignored him. So what he did was he built himself one of these type of things. He set it up, and then he booked off for the weekend and went to go stay in a hotel while it went nonstop, like loud.
Man.
And so then those neighbors were just like, their whole house is like, whatever, making noise. And then they couldn't do anything about it.
No. You can't.
They can't, because they called the cops and they called the management and everything, but he wasn't there. So they couldn't go in his house. So the whole weekend it was just this noise. And then when he came back, they were like, what the hell? He's like, well,
Told you.
Yeah. So that story went kind of viral. And then like these companies started to make these.
Because people are like, oh, I have the same issue.
Yeah. Everybody has that issue, right? So I wanted to show you the level of that this thing has reached. So that's what it sounds like. Hear that banging? That's what it sounds like when you're upstairs. Like 50.
因为一点点小小的邻里矛盾，震楼器一开就是5年。
So there we go. So this is one of them. What you do is it comes in an extension pole. I've got a little video of an unboxing later. We're going to look at it. But you put it up against your roof, and then you can set it. It's got lots of different settings. You've got speed settings. You can make it randomized. You can set like timers. So you can say, let it start in 4 hours or something when you leave the house, So you can tell it to start at certain times. So it's very complicated, but it's all about annoying the crap out of your neighbors. So this is one. But you can get 2.
It's more distressing.
Yeah, because
it's psychological warfare.
Yeah, because it's also random, right? So you can't get used to the sound. See how it's like just sometimes.
No, oh, my heart's beating hearing this.
Yeah, but you can also get 3.
people bought these.
Dude, listen to that.
My gosh. This is diabolical.
Yes. So, you know, if you actually look at the controls, they've got so many different options that you can choose from.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know,
It's like
it's
5-minute
like-
intervals and stuff.
Yeah.
20 minutes.
Yeah, so you can make it like stop for a little bit and then
Yeah.
start again.
They're like, oh, finally.
Yeah, but then it comes back. It's
Sorry, I'm having a panic
psychological
attack.
warfare.
It really is.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like beats per second. or
Yeah.
whatever.
It's so bad. It's evil.
My gosh.
Okay, now. Yeah, I mean,
Wow. What a product review.
yeah.
This guy's like getting mad at himself.
He's getting mad with his upstairs neighbors.
Yeah.
Yeah. Imagine sitting there and trying to work with that noise that you're making.
Insane.
So here's a little unboxing to show you. This is like a cheap one that you can buy. And it costs like about 140 RMB thereabouts. So what is it, $60 or something less?
140?
Yeah.
Like $30.
Sorry, $30. Yeah, my bad. But just to give you an idea, okay, got the remote.
Cutting into it.
Look, you got these like extender poles. It all
Nice.
comes in the box, right? So you're ready to like start psychological warfare against your neighbor in a matter of minutes, really.
给它放到盒里，再次
So
充
let's
电
see.。
I love that there's like how-to videos about
非常的
how to
丑。
set up your new disruptor
Yes,
pole.
exactly.
休息以
How
后
to
呢无
like,
法使用。
it's so
How
How to
to-
destroy the psychology of your neighbor in under 5 minutes.
yeah.
看一下遥控器功能，开关、预约。
This is
模式
insane that this
档位加
exists.
我买的这个
I
呢
know.
不到300元
It's a massive
不是顶配
industry.
It's not a
试一下
niche product.
No.
There's how-to guys.
Yes.
顶在
It's like
身体上了
WikiHow.
Yeah, look, this guy's like a tester. He lives out in the countryside, so he's going to
已经
test
做成
this.
半个月了
He's got a little
之后
decibel
给
meter.
大家拍了这个咱们用平板电源开关。我还准备了一个分贝仪，咱们测试一下噪音的数值。
It's close to 100 decibels up there.
I mean, you're getting most of those.
Yeah, but look, he's climbed up to his attic,
Yeah.
so he can actually show you what it's like.
大概这个位置，
Still like,
好，大概
60
50
But you're
啊
gonna hear it.
能感觉这房上面一震一
yeah, and I
震。
mean, it depends. You get louder ones,
桑迪
softer
一千
ones.
And I think it'd
自损
resonate more
接下
in
来
those
咱们拆
bigger
解
buildings.
四颗
Yeah,
螺丝
because like he had like insulation
Yeah,
and
yeah.
stuff, and it's, you
将
know,
近300块
very
钱
simple
呢，就这俩
device.
东西啊。首先是一颗马达，
See how it works there? It's
Yeah.
got like a weighted piece of metal that just hits. But I mean, that is the most China thing ever.
It is.
The fact that there's an industry, and you can go online right now in China and just go on Taobao or whatever,
Yeah.
and there's so many different ones to choose from. Yes, okay, fine. Where is that nonsense? Sorry.
So many
Noise machines.
Yeah, so many
I think
noise
it's great
machines.
cultural insight that
Yeah.
people need to understand that this needs to be an industry. Like
Yeah.
the fact that that exists is crazy.
Yeah.
You know.
It's literally like how to disturb your neighbor's, you know, mental
Well-being.
health. Because they'll do it. They'll find out, okay, this is when the kid's supposed to be sleeping at this
Yeah.
time. Let's put it on that time.
Yeah.
They'll literally be, okay, I'm going to work now. Turn it on.
There's like better help is like better torture.
Yeah, exactly.
opposite.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, guys, we want to remind you because this is maybe one of the last times you're ever going
Yes.
to get this
Yes.
opportunity. Let's take a look. So, this is our Dying Breath Hand Machine Ghost shirt. And of course, you get hoodies and stickers and posters and everything, but very limited, very cool design, showing the Hand Machine Ghost, which is a phone addict, basically. That's the translation, because a hand machine is a phone in Chinese, and a Kong is an addict or ghost or whatever. So this guy is the Hand Machine Ghost, and his soul is being sucked out to the algorithm, even in his dying breath. So addicted.
Completely AI free,
No AI.
in-house artists.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing. It's beautiful. I'll tell you what, this is one of the most successful campaigns we've had, and we're winding down here. So this is your last chance
Yeah.
to pick it up.
Yeah.
I would get as many as you can, as many as you want. You're going to help us out. You're going to start a conversation. People have been sending us emails and DMs, and the Discord has been alight with all these people talking about their experiences wearing this shirt. And people have walked up to them and said, "Where did you get that? What is that? That's so cool."
Yeah.
I think that's very rare in this day and age where everyone's literally glued to their phone to actually notice something like that.
Yeah.
Because it's a conversation starter.
For sure.
This is amazing. It's not coming back.
Yeah, please check it out.
Pick it up.
I love mine.
Yeah. Link down below in the pinned comment or description. It's thechinashow.threadless.com.
There it is, thechinashow.threadless.com. Go pick yours up now. Nice. Okay, now it's soft power. Now we're going to get into the main topic of how China basically wants everybody to have kids.
Yes. So we'll run you through a brief history here, but I think people forget, I think especially in this day and age with like short form media and very little attention spans, very short attention spans. They forget that China has done so much, probably the most, in terms of trying to manipulate the birth rate or the procreation of their own citizens.
Yeah.
It's to an extent that's never been seen in history, period.
Yeah.
And it didn't stop. They just changed the way they're doing it. And it's just as outlandish now as it was before, just in the opposite direction.
Correct.
So we want to run you through a quick timeline here. Basically, what happened was China was a country that ran on dynasties.
Yes.
The dynasty stopped and it tried to do some sort of modern style government under what's called the Kuomintang, the KMT.
Yeah.
Those are the people that ran away to Taiwan after they lost the Civil War.
Yes.
The people that took over China in 1949 were the Communists, the Communist Party of China, led by lovely Chairman Mao. Mao Zedong killed 80 million of his own people.
Yeah,
right?
horrible man.
Really, truly diabolical terrorist.
Worse than Hitler and Stalin combined.
So bad.
Yeah.
But somehow people don't
So
don't give him enough credit because somehow people
Yeah,
don't
he's
care
still
about
on the
China.
money.
He's
Dude,
on their currency.
it's as if
Hitler
Hitler was on the German
euro.
Deutschmark or whatever.
He was on the euro.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Germany gets their special euro and it's Hitler.
Yeah, that's it. It's like Russia has Stalin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you don't get that, right? It
No.
doesn't make sense.
No.
But somehow China gets a free pass. Somehow.
Yeah, it's weird.
But what happened was actually Chairman Mao, his prerogative when he entered the political sphere was to catch up to the Soviet Union. He was utterly obsessed with the Soviet Union because I don't know if you guys know, if you're a bit younger, but there was two styles of like the way the world was going post World War II.
Yeah.
And it was like you go west, young man, right? And you
Go
have democracies. Yes.
Life is peaceful there.
You have liberal democracies. You
Yep.
have allies,
Yep.
right? You have these countries that kind of generally have their best, their friends' best interests in mind. And then you had the commie bloc, and you had the Soviet states, and you had the communist countries.
Yeah.
And their idea was to make sure communism spreads across the rest of the world.
Yeah, just like all the influences these days.
Yeah, well, it looks like we're going back to that.
Yeah, exactly.
It's funny. It's very funny
Yeah.
how that's occurred. Now, Chairman Mao said, yes, I'm a communist country, just like the Soviet Union, but he was utterly obsessed with being better than or catching up with the Soviet Union.
Yeah.
Their production quotas, their grain output, he would obsessively, like almost OCD, look at the output of what the Soviet Union was doing and saying, we have to do that too.
Yes.
So his utter prerogative in the beginning was to make sure that China was a very populated nation. So
Yes.
there was huge incentives in the beginning, and it was almost a form of nationalism to make sure that people had as many births as possible.
Yeah, they would give rewards to like the peasants, basically.
get
the
more ration tickets.
Exactly. The more kids you have, the more rewarded you were.
Yeah, and his idea was that if we're going to lose a ton of people in a future war, we have tons of fodder. We
Yeah.
have a bunch of meat.
Yeah.
We can go to war, right?
That's right.
And you saw what he did in Korea, right? That kind of played out and how many millions of soldiers were lost in Korea to defend North Korea, which really had very little benefit for China.
Yeah.
Right? It was almost like a bragging right. We can send all these people that I've created
Yeah,
into this war
that's
machine.
true.
Right?
True.
So it started out by trying to make as many people as possible. Yeah, China's first instinct wasn't to stop births, it was to celebrate them.
Yeah.
Chairman Mao said China will be strong if it has more people. And you did. You saw a massive uptick in the birth rates.
That's correct.
Huge population explosion. In fact, the country couldn't support it.
Yeah. I
Right,
mean,
it's-
people were dying and stuff.
He was shipping the grain
Yeah,
to the Soviet Union
exactly.
saying that they had surpluses.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
in the 70s, there was a big turnaround because leadership looked at this and said, crap. We have like hundreds of millions of people we can't support.
Yes.
This is bad.
Yep.
This Mao idea, turns out having a dictator that does grand sweeping changes is not actually good for a country usually.
Yeah. Kind of like what Xi Jinping's doing.
Correct. It's just in a different way.
Yeah.
Right? So there was a big turn. There's this phrase that China started to use, which was called later, longer, and fewer. So you wait later in life to have kids. So maybe instead of having your first child at 21, you have your first child at 30. Right?
Yeah.
You wait longer to get married to procreate, and you have fewer children.
Yeah.
And it was kind of a psychological campaign to be like, hey, it's all our duty to kind of rein in this mistake without saying it was a mistake.
Sure.
They can't be like, yo, Mao was wrong.
Yeah, the thing is, here's the big thing is, those propaganda slogans they put up in the villages or whatever, they stay up there forever.
Yeah.
Like they're
Time capsule.
Like when we used to go through the countryside, we
Yeah.
would still see Cultural Revolution.
Yeah.
From back in
yeah.
the day, from the 60s and the 50s, we'd still see the slogans painted on the walls. It faded.
One of the last things a few days before I left China was to see those slogans actually in just a regular house, and it said like "kill the capitalists." That's still up there.
Yeah, it's still up there. So when they put all the have lots of kids slogans, I bet you those stayed up even when they put this, so people are still having kids even though they changed
There's
it.
no internet.
Because they're not going out. They don't care
No.
about maintenance. They put one thing up there, they leave it for decades.
That's absolutely correct.
You know what I mean?
But so there was a bit of a decline in fertility here, but it wasn't like the sinister stuff you heard about later.
Yeah.
This is more of like, how do we get the average person, Lao Bai Xing?
Yeah.
That's what the average people in China are
Yeah.
called, old hundred names.
Yes.
How do we get the old hundreds names behind this idea that we need to have less kids, right? And
Yeah.
this is what they started. So this is before the whole one-child policy, right?
Yeah.
So this is when the one-child policy began. It was in 1979 and 1980. It was kind of just slammed down, and they go, you are not allowed to have more than one child.
Yes.
And you can imagine, I mean, just let me pick your brain. What do you think would happen if you just instituted a barbaric authoritarian law overnight that tells people they can't have more than one kid?
Well, you're not going to just change your life.
No.
A lot of people, they've grown up with brothers and sisters. They have this idea of having lots of children on the farm is very beneficial because you get free workers. They've got all this thing going on, and you need daughters to marry off to get money. You need the sons to work the fields. That's kind of how it works in China.
Yeah.
Agrarian society. It's the worst society to try and restrict birth.
Yeah.
But then they're like, sorry, you're only allowed to have one. Don't be stupid. And then, they're not going to just do that, are they?
No, I mean, this is, I like what you said there. The worst demographic to restrict was restricted.
Yes.
Chairman Mao, coming out of that kind of famine period, China needed economic growth.
Yeah.
You are not going to get that if you can't feed the country.
Yeah.
So they just kept stymieing their natural progression as a nation. They were never able to properly reform out of this because they keep trying to control the most basic human instincts.
Yes.
Of wanting to reproduce, have in a country that needs people to help out on the farm, like you said.
Yeah.
It wasn't a modern society yet. You
No.
can't do experiments like this.
No.
It's going to be a failure, right? So the people that came out of this, and we're from the 80s, right? Our peers in China are all only
One child,
children.
yeah.
They're all only children.
It's like our wives, they're only children.
Everyone that we hung out with, everyone that we knew, they were the only child in their family.
Yeah.
And this had massive repercussions, not just for agrarian society or whatever, but also for the psychology of how a nuclear family works.
Yeah.
You had to all of a sudden dump so many resources and so much time and so much everything into this one child, because that's going to be your ticket
Yeah.
to being taken care of later. In a poor country that doesn't take care of their people, they don't have these big, communist stipends and
They pretend they're socialists, but they don't. There's no big pensions. There's no social security. There's nothing like America's far more communist than China.
So much more.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So they have this authoritarian state that doesn't take care of their people. So they say, this one kid that I have is my ticket. If they screw up or they don't become wildly wealthy, I'm screwed.
Yeah, so they need the one child to get the best job possible to earn the most amount of money in order to support you, basically as your retirement.
For sure.
So you dump everything, every last cent that you can into your one child to give them the best education, to give them the best chance possible. Very expensive, all consuming. So that's how it went, and that got ingrained into society because now everybody's doing that, putting so much money into one kid. Suddenly, tuition prices go up. If you want piano lessons or whatever, it costs a lot of money.
Yeah, and that's for like the
know?
wealthy people that can afford
Yes,
that. Obviously,
exactly.
the vast majority of people don't even do that.
What I'm
but-
saying is like whole industries sprouted up around the whole one-child thing because parents are willing to spend everything they have on giving their child an advantage. So industries prop up.
It's their insurance.
Yeah, exactly. So now you grow up in that environment. Now you're the one child that's been lavished with everything your parents can give you. All right. And now it's your turn to have a kid. You don't know what it's like to have brothers and sisters. Your friends didn't have brothers and sisters. Your classmates didn't have brothers and sisters. You don't know what that's like. You're not going to want to have more than one kid because you don't know how it works. You've never seen it work. It's not something that's even entered your psyche.
No.
You're just going to have one kid. And you know that having the kid is incredibly expensive.
For sure.
You know, so when the government tries to tell you have more than one kid,
We'll get into that.
you know, you're not going to want to.
For sure. But let's see what actually. So this is when it was instituted. We haven't seen how grim this got.
Yeah.
Right. The real grim nature of what this had, the destruction, the trauma, the demographic kind of change that happened.
Terrible.
Truly depraved. Because you have a situation where it's not people's free will. They're not encouraged. You know, in the beginning, they're encouraged to have less kids.
Yes.
Now it's the law. And when it's the law in China and it's the top leadership that says it's the law, you better believe it's going to be enforced.
Yes.
This is where you hear about the horrible stuff, like the mobile abortion brigades.
Yes.
That go around to the villages, knocking on doors, open the door, see that you're pregnant. They take care of it right there.
They pay people to inform on their neighbors.
They rat them out.
Yeah, if a neighbor is like acting as if they might be pregnant or something, they get a reward if they rat them out.
Yeah.
You know, and so then the enforcers will come and force abortions.
Yes.
Sometimes even, you know, when they give birth, then they kill them straight after.
So that is something
homicide.
Yeah, it's just murder.
Just murder.
Straight. It doesn't matter what your definition is at that
Yeah,
point.
yeah.
It's just murder at that
Yeah.
point. This got so terrible. You got to imagine China's a big country, right? They had the same law, but it was instituted differently in different areas. If you had a real bad CCP official in your city or in your town, and they wanted to suck up to the central leadership, because that's how it works in communist governments, then they came up with some truly depraved, horrific methods of doing this.
Yeah.
Without getting into too much detail, there was one campaign called the Childless 100 Days.
Yeah.
This was in 1991.
Yes.
1991. So this is not like, I know a lot of people think back, oh, the old times. This isn't the old times.
No,
This is
1990. You're playing Sonic the
11.
Hedgehog on
Yes.
your Sega Genesis,
Yes.
man. You know what I mean?
When you were playing Sega Genesis, playing Sonic, they went around these areas and said, no one is allowed to have babies for 100 days. And I will let your imagination run wild with what that actually meant. You can almost not even imagine, but I'm just going to say there were fields of literal human beings in 1991.
Dead human beings.
Yes, that were being disposed of.
Yeah.
And it was shocking and horrifying. The trauma that came out of that in some of these areas that people will never forget.
No.
Because this is an ancient history.
Yeah.
In fact, we did a documentary about it on our Patreon show. I just want to show a little clip from that.
Okay. Yeah, we did. I remember. It's a very terrible thing. Let's see.
This is an official campaign called Childless 100 Days, and it was China's hidden massacre. So local party leaders in these areas would have their own campaigns. And this one in particular was called the lamb killing incident.
This one says, if you drink, we won't snatch the bottle. If you want to, we'll give you the rope.
And they would see dogs carrying these babies to the streets.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, makes sense.
Almost no one was born during May to August of 1991. If you go in birth records, there is no one there. This whole place was paved with the souls of lambs.
You think that things are okay in China because you just simply don't hear about the bad stuff.
But you progressively learn more and more.
Yeah, that was quite terrifying.
But I think it's important, and I'll tell you why. Why do people not know about this basically genocide that happened in 1991?
Yep.
That's insane. This is not like, it's like people, it's successfully been buried in history. We documented the thing.
Yeah.
We had to put it out there. If you want to go check it out, I highly recommend it, even if it's just for that one.
Yeah.
Sign up to patreon.com/ADB podcast. Not only will you get that episode, you get all the other ones and every Monday show. If you like what you're watching now, we do it again on Monday, but we do it on Patreon. It's the stuff we can't really talk about on the main show.
That's right.
It's a little too sensitive, a little too dicey.
Yes,
But that was a good one.
That was a good one.
But then what happened in 2013 to 2016 is China realized that, we went too far with this, right?
Yes.
Again, do you see this kind of push and pull? They
There-
start out.
There's also something else that we haven't covered is the fact that you had gender selective abortions.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
in traditional Chinese agrarian families, having a boy is more valuable than having a girl.
Yeah.
Because think about it, it's farm work,
Yeah.
right? You have a farm. You need to till the fields. You need to go out there and pull out the rice or do whatever it is and work the oxen and stuff. So you need a boy. Also, a boy is going to look after you when you're older.
And
'Cause
carry on your family name.
Yeah, because what happens is you usually sell off your daughter, and I mean it sounds terrible, but that's what happens. You get a bride
In
price.
China, yeah.
You know, you
do.
You basically another family buys your daughter from you, and then your son looks after you. You know, so having a son is more valuable. That's why you have something like close to 40 million more men than women.
Yeah.
So 40 million men in China that will not
Never
be
a
able to
boy.
get married.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
crazy because unfortunately, it happened at the time when it started to get easier to tell the gender of the child before it was born. So they'd find out, oh, it's going to be a girl. You know, we only allowed one child. We need a boy.
Yeah.
It's horrible. It's horrendous. It's really like messed up the gender balance in China.
Yeah, yeah. One thing I tiptoe around this before we get into how they're trying to repair this. During those, in the 1991 thing, there were areas in China, in big areas
Yeah.
in China, that to hit those goals of not having babies, I'll put it to you cryptically. A death is a death,
Yeah,
right? That number doesn't matter where it comes from. A death is a death.
it's true.
It's horrifying.
Yeah, yeah,
But yeah, so they realized they went too far.
yeah.
Right? In 2013, 2016, China.
You can't mess with nature that much.
You
man.
can't. China's like, oh crap. So we did this thing where we wanted everyone to have kids. They did. Then we had to rein it in and have the one child policy. It was horrible, grim part of history. Now we need more people to actually replace the demographics because we're going to have a ton of people that literally are only one child taking care of 4 grandparents.
Yes.
It's not going to work out.
No, you can't have one kid looking after 4 people.
You also can't have an economy grow. You remember, China's number one prerogative is to have a GDP growth so that they can enter like the modern world and actually like survive.
Yeah,
You can't have GDP growth if you don't have people,
yeah,
right? So the people are going to die. These old people are going to die off.
yeah.
You haven't replaced them. That's going to be a failing country, a failing society.
I remember when they changed these rules. Obviously, you know, I was in China at the time,
Yeah,
and so were you.
same.
And I just remember nobody wanted to do this. So
It's already been
were
ingrained.
they were saying like, oh, if you have a second kid, we'll give you some tax breaks, or we'll give you like it was a very small amount of money
Yeah.
they were offering.
Yeah.
And people
Very
were like,
small.
yeah, it was stupid. It was like $1,000 or something. It was like less.
It's
than
less,
that. It was
it's less.
no, like 5,000 RMB or something. It was like stupid.
It was 3,000 RMB.
Oh, it's 3,000 RMB. Yeah, that's right. I remember
Yeah.
it being like, and I was thinking
per year or something.
that won't
if you
even
have a baby.
pay for like, I don't know, like one class at one of
Yeah,
those
that's
fancy,
true.
you know.
That's true.
Anyway, I just I remember that people weren't interested because think about it. You now know that to raise one child is going to cost you your entire fortune. Everything you make, you're pouring into this one child as your retirement fund, basically. And now the idea of having 2, it's just not financially viable because they won't have a fighting chance. They won't be able to get past that very
Nope.
important
That's a good
Gaokao
point.
exam.
That's a good point.
Because if you don't put and that's why it's horrible to be a Chinese child because
Yeah.
you are forced into like studying
Yeah.
non-stop because you have to get those good grades because you have to pass that very, very tough Gaokao test, which
Yeah.
is the university entrance exam. Because depending on how you score there depends on what kind of university
That's
you
right.
can go to. So you got to give that one child every possibility. So now if you got 2, now they're both not going to get the resources that, you know, so now you're going to get 2 mid kids, go to mid university, maybe even fail, and then you won't get your retirement.
That's right.
And you've wasted double the amount of money.
That's true.
So anyway,
So yeah, I mean, they ended the one child policy. They had the 2 child policy very quickly after they had the 3 child policy.
yeah, like a couple of years.
And actually, what that meant in 2021 was you just remove any restrictions at all.
Yeah.
Right. That's just how it was.
Yep.
But the same government that spent all this time limiting births now needed to actually boost them. So it didn't go from, oh, we're going to remove the restrictions. Now it actually needs a government program to make people have children.
Yes.
You have to have children.
Yep.
Right. And this is where it became a big problem. They're not seeing success in that right now. And that brings us up to today.
Yep.
If you go to the next slide here, they're actively trying to do things that is, you know, whether it's the education system, you're watching them go back and like Photoshop the actual covers of textbooks to show more children, like you see here.
Yeah, look at that.
It's a national policy at the most psyop level you've ever seen.
Yeah, it makes sense because like the textbooks, they show the one kid like as per usual, and now they've got one in a baby carriage or stroller or a pram.
Yeah, I wanted to show that as like the most mild, petty example of them trying to do this, but it's that important to them now.
Yeah.
And so Winston and I have been keeping you up to date on this stuff because we've been watching them kind of scramble and it's not working. China now has one of the lowest birth rates in the entire world. And it's a country that is spending the most on trying to get people to have children.
You know what's crazy is everybody, I hear this all the time, says China's like playing the long game. China's playing 4D chess, but they're playing vignette chess.
It's vignette chess.
Because, you know, like, you know, when you play chess, if you're a chess player, you can think a few moves ahead, or you can just look at your one piece and like blank everything else out and be like, I've got a knight and I can move it here. I'm just going to move it there and see what happens.
It's a vignette.
Yeah. And then like, oh, I'm about to get taken by this. Like I'll move there and then you get taken. It's vignette chess. You only pay attention to that one piece. You actually don't know what's going on around you. You only pay attention to the moment. That's how the Chinese government works. They're like, we can make money doing this. Let's do it. And then the environment dies. And they're like, now the environment's dead. And they're like, what are we going to do now? I know, let's buy farmland in America. You know, that type of thing.
Yeah.
But instead of doing things right, they're always trying to find a way to just repair all the mistakes.
100%.
You know? And this is a great example. They screwed up so hard.
Yeah.
And now they're like, well, now what are we going to do?
Yes.
They're playing vignette chess.
I'll tell you what they're going to do. Go to the next slide.
Okay. Yeah.
So now they're terrified that China's going to fail. I mean, this is the demographic collapse, right? So they're trying to promote marriage. And it's funny. This actually is a propaganda win for them in the West because what they're trying to do is they've traditionally tried to co-opt the left with like communist values and stuff. We're socialists. We're a utopia. And they're not those things.
No.
Now they're trying to co-opt the right by saying, we promote family values. Look, we want people to have babies. We don't want people to have abortions.
Sure.
It's such a lie.
Yep.
Right? It's an absolute propaganda lie. So don't fall for it.
Oh, please
no matter
don't.
what side of the spectrum.
Exactly.
But they're trying to do all these programs, right? So there's like a $500 per year for each child under age 3 stipend now that you get. Like that's
gonna do nothing,
right?
dude.
China's not just offering money; it's trying to rebuild a culture where you're supposed to have children, and they erased that culture.
Yes,
you can't rebuild that.
No, you don't.
You can't.
It's literally thousands of years of civilization, and the communists came in and murdered everyone's children, and then expected them to just forget about it.
Yeah. Yes.
You know.
Yes.
They traumatized an entire nation and turned them into, you know, what they are now.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, well, actually, you know what? Let's do it the right way. And they're like, what are you talking about? This is the right way. You know?
So there's huge propaganda campaigns in the opposite direction now. If you go to the next thing, they're actually doing such crazy things. This is their pro-natalist phase, where they're trying to actually force people to have children, right? So they're actively like stopping advertising for contraceptives.
Yeah.
They're getting rid of this is crazy, but if you bought like a pregnancy test back in the day in China, it would have like an abortion clinic ad inside of it.
Yes.
They wanted you to have abortions.
Yeah, they wanted you to. Yeah.
Now that stuff's gone.
Yeah.
Right? They're actively doing the opposite. They're pressuring people to get married.
Dude, it was so bad in China. I knew several women in China that would use abortion as a contraceptive.
Yes.
That's what
very
they do.
common.
They wouldn't take the pill or anything.
No.
They would just like, if they got pregnant, just have an abortion. And it was so common.
Yeah.
And it's just like going and get it done as if you're just going in to get your nails done.
It was. China actively removed the guilt or even not even the guilt. It removed the conversation around it.
It was seen as the most normal thing to do on a Wednesday afternoon.
100%, right? So even though they're not doing things like to the extent of what they're doing in the 90s and the 100 childless days and stuff in the other direction, Winston, I think it's getting to that level.
Yeah.
In fact, there's actually an interesting metric here, where if you go to the next one, there's companies like condom companies, for example, right, that are actually seeing a reduction in sales.
Yes.
Because they're being taxed. There's an extra tax on this stuff by the government. They're trying every little thing. And what's funny is that although they're seeing less condom sales, we've seen no indication that the birth rates have gone up.
Pretty sure STDs have.
Probably, yes.
You know, that's something that China doesn't report on, but there's a big AIDS problem in China and other
Huge.
STDs.
Yeah.
Which, you know, like when I first went to China, a Chinese girl that I knew in South Africa, actually, she was my teacher, taught me like Japanese. She was Taiwanese, actually, not Chinese. And she told me, be careful. China's got a massive AIDS problem and they don't talk about it.
It's true.
You know? And it
They
turned out to
ban
be
all
true.
Evidence around it.
Yeah. And when I got there, you don't hear anything about it, but there's all these AIDS villages and
Yep.
these horrible things there. It's massive. STDs are huge.
Yeah.
They've got clinics for them all over the place.
Yeah.
But they keep it on the down low so you
sure.
don't hear about it.
For sure.
Anyway, this is scary because you know what the UK and the US did to stop people smoking? Is they taxed the hell out of cigarettes.
Yep.
And in certain countries, they tax the hell out of alcohol so
And
people can't
rates
drink.
went down for the
Yeah.
cigarettes, yeah.
Of course. It's like nobody smokes anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, in America, no.
You want to go spend whatever it is, $70 on a pack of 12 or whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? It's just, it makes it very unappealing and it's very difficult. So, especially if you don't earn a lot of money, which is the majority of young people in China. In fact, all of them, you know? So now, if you take away if the means to buy birth control, you're not going to be able to use it.
Nope.
And that's what they're doing on purpose, is they want to tax birth control out of the system so that people have more accidental pregnancies.
That's right.
And they're going to make it harder and harder to have abortions for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I did want to say that this is not about like rights, right? I don't want people. I think people are so dumb these days because of like short form media and just the news cycle.
Yeah.
This isn't about like pro-choice or pro-life or pro-contraception or anti-contraception. You need to push those Western values aside. Push those little Western values aside.
I think you can say it's pro-choice, but not in the way that you think.
Not in the way you think.
Not to do with having abortions or not abortions. It's whether you get to choose.
Yes, anything.
Anything to do with your future, with your family, with your body, anything. The Chinese government has full control. If they can force you to have an abortion against your will, even if you're 9 months pregnant, if they can force, just go into villages and go into places and just kill, you know, on a whim, they can also force you to get pregnant too.
Yes, and that's where we think this is
It's
headed.
getting to that point. It's so close. They've been incentivizing. They've been kind of sly about it. But it's the same government that killed all those babies. It's the same government that was responsible for the Tiananmen Square massacre. It's the same government that's been responsible for 80 million of their own people starving to death. This is a ruthless, brutal, horrible government. And they will get to a point where they're like, start penalizing people.
Agreed.
You haven't had a kid yet? Well, now you're going to have to pay a fine.
Yep.
You know, oh, you
to
haven't
jail.
haven't had a kid yet? You're going to go to jail. There's going to be all this crap.
It's absolutely around the corner.
Yeah, it's like you must have a kid, otherwise it's very close. We know it.
Yes, I can feel it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is just the beginning. Taxing condoms.
Yep.
Who does that?
It's going to get so much worse.
Dude.
It's going to get so much worse.
People are going to have to start doing what those sailors did with, like, what is it, sheep intestines or something. You know?
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, it's time for Worldview. This is where we talk about everything in the world, specifically with regards to China. I'd like to take you on some of China's African adventures in slavery and neocolonialism.
Sure.
Because whether we like it or not, there's no other nation in the world who's currently engaging in colonization of Africa other than China. They are neocolonialists. They are coming in with their Belt and Road and various other things and being like, listen, we're basically going to build infrastructure here, but then you got to pay us back these massive debts. And if you don't, we're going to take your country, take your ports, take your infrastructure. We're going to take your minerals. It's basically like a new way of colonizing, but this time far more destructive. So let's take a look. I'm going to take you to
have a right
Africa.
to say no.
Let's go from China to Africa for this segment. And I'd like to start out explaining to you a little bit about my experiences growing up in Africa. Because maybe you guys don't know, but I'm African, you know, kind of African American these days since I live in America. But, you know, I'm African. And one thing that happens all over Africa are workers' strikes. Okay, it's something I grew up with. It's just normal. Because the majority of Africa was colonized by European countries. And therefore, European laws were imported. So you've got workers' unions, okay? You've got labor laws. They're very robust. So it's a weird thing about South Africa and other countries like that is even if the entire country is in turmoil with no electricity and it's burning to the ground, the labor laws are still going to be intact. And, you know, if you hire someone, you better make sure that you live up to those labor laws or your company will be liquidated.
Gotcha.
You know, that kind of thing. Anyway, so let's go to China and Zimbabwe first. Okay, we all know Zimbabwe. And right now in Zimbabwe, a bunch of Fujian investors are building this thing. It's called the Sky Plaza Shopping Center and Hotel.
Okay.
Looks awesome, you know. But, you know, this is a big project.
Sure.
And what's happened is a bunch of the guys have gone, the workers have gone on strike.
You don't have a right to say no. Accept it or not. 1 week. The next chance. You don't have a right to say no. This is last chance. Give Kingsley. If we can't do that, we'll ask another person to replace him. If they cannot do this, we'll ask another person to replace him. Don't worry.
Okay, so they're going on strike because of poor working conditions, low wages, and unfair management practices, which is just the way China operates. And we're not talking about abroad, within China. I mean, how many times have we show you here on the show all those poor workers who are like protesting because they haven't been paid in 6 months or a year, and they're working in slave-like conditions. They're working like we saw those IEs in the beginning of the show, like living in those horrible conditions. That's how China operates. Yeah. And there are no labor laws in China. So when people complain, they just get fired. Yeah. They just get disappeared. They just get pushed off site and new people get poured in because the population is so large that everybody needs a job. And it's so hard to find a job that they're willing to work for just about nothing.
Yeah.
That's why you got to be very careful of your job in China. You are expendable.
Easy.
If you cause any trouble, it's so easy to replace you that they do.
There's no unionizing is illegal. They hate you. They hate everything that's communist or socialist in China, which is ironic.
It is weird, isn't it?
Because they operate like a communist country.
What they don't understand is that Zimbabwe, because of its colonial past, has massive labor laws. They have unions. They love that stuff. It's like a pastime. You know, like going on the strike, going out there to have a strike. It's kind of like a fun thing to do. I don't know if you've ever seen an African strike. A lot of dancing, a lot of singing, a lot of like carrying traditional weapons, you know, that kind of thing. But it's like a big thing and it goes on for a long time. And there's a payout at the end always, you know, because they always end up having to like capitulate. Yeah. But of course, China doesn't seem to realize this because what did they respond with? Number one, you have no rights. She even said, you have no right to say no to our conditions.
This is just slavery.
Yeah, it's slavery. By the way, they do have a right to say no. It's in the constitution. It's in the laws of the land.
China's law supersedes anywhere where they go.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's why the CCP operates with impunity everywhere.
Yeah.
You know, they don't respect local law.
No. So they say you have no rights.
No.
Be slave labor or be fired.
Yes.
Within a week. She says you've got 1 week to like, you know, sign this document or whatever or to continue working. If you refuse, you'll be replaced. Don't worry, she said. Remember? We'll find someone to replace you. So that's how China operates in Zimbabwe.
That's how it operates everywhere.
Yeah, I'm just saying like for this particular... Yes. Yeah, of course, you're right. And that's how China operates in China.
You got to understand
companies,
China.
Yeah,
for real.
You do.
You got to understand China.
Yeah, agreed. Anyway, let's move on. Yeah. I got to tell you, though, China's got to watch out, man. Because, you know, like I don't think they realize what they're dealing with.
Poking the bear.
Yeah, they're poking the bear. Just don't go too far. You'll end up as traditional medicine and not the Chinese kind, the African kind. You might be mixed into muti, you know? Anyway, just saying. China in Ghana. Let's move over. Ghana, probably one of my favorite countries in Africa.
Yeah, we know it. We have a lot of Ghanaian friends.
Everyone I've met from Ghana has been amazing.
Some great people.
Yeah. So what's happening in Ghana? Well,
Hello. Yeah.
No. Go.
I'm just going to turn this down in the background, but you get the idea. There's a very bizarre situation where there's been a crackdown on illegal Chinese mattress factories. So, and a lot of them, like about 6 big ones.
Interesting.
in Ghana. Yeah, there's something
I guess
weird.
it's something to do with smuggling.
I don't know. But basically what's happened is Chinese citizens have come in and started these mattress factories.
Okay.
Okay? And producing incredibly substandard garbage mattresses.
Okay.
So the Ghana Standards Authority launched this massive crackdown. Basically, they found out that they're using hazardous styrofoam materials inside, so things that are bad for your health in the mattresses. Health and spine risks, they failed all standard compression tests, the ones that they tested. Every single test.
Wow.
It says it can cause chronic and permanent, whatever, ailments to people who use them. And sorry, I got to go back because my notes were up there. But the most important part was, it said most, but actually probably all of them had no certifications, no environmental approvals. Now, this is important because that's how China operates. You know, you always hear about how China pollutes its land and, the factory runoff goes in the river because they don't care. There's no EPA knocking on their door saying that's illegal. They just do it, and if the local villages all get cancer, then the government's like, hey, you can't do that anymore. And they're like, fine. And then they'll patch it up for a little while and wait till it's quiet, then start again. No environmental approvals and no manufacturing permits. So they just turn up, set up these factories and make these really poor standard mattresses, which you can actually see in the footage here in a minute, because they break in. And of course, when they come in, they're like, oh, I don't understand English, whatever. What are you doing? Why are you going to Ghana and setting up these factories? You can't speak the language. What are you doing?
You know what they're doing.
There's something sus going on here, dude. There's something really weird.
It is weird.
Yeah, take a look at these, piles of these mattresses. But why? Why Ghana? Why so many mattress factories?
Yeah, it is weird.
Yeah, it's very, very strange.
It's like, oh crap.
Yeah, it's he's like, what am I gonna do?
And Ghana has rule of laws. It's not
Yes.
some backwater, very poor African country.
No.
There's rules and regulations. So these people might be screwed.
Yeah, it's possible. I bet they're just getting away with it, as usual. They will always do that.
Yeah, for sure.
Just
bribe local governments.
So they were doing it in South Africa too. A lot of Chinese businessmen were running these abalone poaching operations.
That's right.
And then just storing them in the house, their houses and stuff. Oh, I remember there's lots of junk like that. But it's just get away with it for as long as you can until you're caught, basically.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, it's time for Yamcha, which is our Q&A segment where we answer your questions and you question our answers. However, I guess today we're just going to have a little chat.
Yeah, I guess a little chat. We can have a little chat.
Before we sign off.
Yeah.
So what's new?
Honestly, I thought today's show was really good, by the way. I thought there's some really coherent segments there.
I hope you guys learned something because, this whole thing about the forced births thing, it's starting to bubble. It's starting to actually come true. It's a prediction we made a long time ago.
We've been making predictions about China just based on actual experience there.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we've been vindicated on almost all of them. We don't make baseless claims.
No.
It's all based in realism. It's based on what we saw in person.
Mm-hmm.
And I unfortunately think there's no real positive way out of that one. Because the problem is if the top leadership does make a decision like poverty will be eradicated, it's not that poverty will be eradicated. They'll make it illegal to talk about poverty and arrest people, and that's what they're doing now.
Yeah.
If they say you have to have children, they will make you have children. And if you don't, they'll probably get rid of you or put you somewhere.
Or force you.
Or arrest you.
Dude,
right?
I honestly think what they're going to end up doing is forcefully fertilize women. Because that's probably the easiest way.
I think you're right. And I also think that we could be looking at, and this sounds crazy, but we could be looking at some sort of human farm type situation.
Yeah, maybe test tubes or something. Yeah, that's entirely possible.
Their scientific backing from the CCP for pro-natalist stuff and test tube baby adjacent science is the expenditures are high.
They also don't have the moral problems that the West faces. Like if a
CRISPR babies, think about all that stuff. Genetic modification, nobody cares.
They don't care. They'll do it.
Yeah.
And that's the problem is, like in the West, if a scientist is like, hey, I want to make human clones, people be like, get the hell out of here, bro.
Exactly. Like people have the debate at least, right? There's a debate.
They will say, get the hell out of here.
Yes, please don't.
You know what I mean?
human clones.
But in China, they'll be like, we need human clones. They will do it, and nobody will stop them. You heard Xi Jinping's hot mic moment about living to 150 by using people's organs?
Yeah.
Dude.
It's not, I mean, the precedent's there.
Yes.
And they, there's the whole history of organ harvesting from the CCP. It's not, put it this way, it's not a good country to have this kind of momentum in this field.
They could force prisoners to have kids.
Yeah, absolutely.
They force prisoners to do free labor.
To be Wuma. If you look at the comments section and you see people going after us in the comments here, a lot of times you're actually looking at a Chinese prisoner.
Yeah, which is true.
It's close to home.
Very strange. Yeah. So I know a lot of this is speculation, but it's starting to look more like a reality.
Is it though? You know what I mean? I mean, I'm careful with what we say because no one likes to be wrong. But I don't think we're wrong here.
I don't think so either, because once again, just remind you, this is the same government that forcefully killed countless millions of children.
Yeah, I really recommend, if you just go support our patron for one thing, go watch that episode if you want to know about this, because I promise you, go to work, no one knows about this. You can bring this up with people. No one knows about this.
Yeah, the massacre that happened, in 1990 to 1991. Yeah,
SNES. I'm playing Super Mario World.
Exactly. It's crazy, dude.
Come on.
Yeah.
Anyway, I just wanted to sign off for that.
So either way, it is Friday, guys. So even though we're not doing an actual Q&A, I will loosen the tie, and it's time to go. Yeah, go grab a beverage, guys. Whether it's alcoholic, non-alcoholic, doesn't matter as long as you're having a good time. We hope you guys have the best weekend ever. We'll see the hoes for Shaban Ho on Monday. Hopefully, we'll have some new people there as well.
Yeah,
if you're intrigued about our mini documentary.
Yeah, you'll get all the other episodes and our future ones.
Yeah. So anyway, have a fantastic weekend. Stay awesome. And thank you for being a part of this important conversation. And now I will not cut myself off. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.